Whew, we got a lot of news regarding NASCAR, as well as we're going to find out who walked away with the grandfather clock on this week's edition of Post Checker Flag. Hi everyone, Mike from LA1 here on a very early morning because it's being filmed at 3 in the morning and this is premiering at 10 a.m. So look how much time I'm wasting here. So yes, this is Post Checker Flag. I am your host. I'm from LA1. So we got a great show planned for you today. So let's not waste any time. Now let's not waste any time. Let's get into the news. Before we actually do get started, we should mention the interesting news that broke a couple of days ago. Last week, right before the race, at Martinsville there was another next-gen test, but also they were testing rain tires for the ovals. So hopefully this could put an end to these stupid rain delays, because once again there was another one here. Jeez Louise. And to be honest, judging by that last rain delay in Martinsville, Steve Phelps is probably relieved of this test. Hopefully we'll see more, and hopefully we may see it on the traditional ovals, well, except for the super speedways, because that's almost impossible. Another piece of news that broke today, news and I want to talk about, it's the next gen cars. May the 5th is when Ford, Chevrolet, and Toyota will be revealing their versions of the next gen car. Really looking forward to this, so this should be very interesting to see going forward. And now let's not waste any time. Let's not waste any time. Let's get to the results you guys want to talk about. Hopefully I'll give my thoughts on the next gen cars in a future Post Checker Flag. But now let's cut it off. Let's talk about the race events. One, I can tell you with this one, I don't have to work for it because we have the Xfinity Series. Here are the results for the Cookout 250 at Martinsville. In 10th place, we have Michael Annette. In 9th place, Justin Allgaier. In 8th place, Mr. Consistency, Justin Haley. And in 6th place, Cindric. 5th place, Brandon Jones. In 4th place, 5th place, Ty Gibbs. In 3rd place, Daniel Hemrick. And in 2nd place, and boy am I really happy to see this, Noah Gragson. So in other words, Hemrick may have won the fist fight, but in the revenge game in Martinsville on the track, Gragson won. And in 1st place, probably our first shock winner since Myatt Snider's victory, excuse me. The driver of the 8 car, Josh Berry. What an upset of all upsets to win on a track he has won before in late models. Finally get his first NASCAR win. That is a milestone in on itself. Oh, I should mention Harrison Burton finished 7th. If I didn't mention that, I apologize. And Cindric finished 6th, so I screwed up. I apologize. So there's that. And of course, Jeff Burton finished 11th, and Brett Moffitt finished 12th, so pretty good day for Brett Moffitt. So there's that. Even though the rain delay kind of screwed over the Xfinity Series, but boy, with that ending, I can take a rain delay any day. Okay, I should mention Landon Castle in the 4 had a blown engine. Jeffrey Earnhardt and Colby Howard had suspension issues, and Ryan Vargas and Graf got in major accidents that pretty much got them out of the race. So, with all that in mind, and also speaking of Mr. Harrison Burton, we want to congratulate him because he'll be in the 96 car at Talladega, which is fantastic, as well as not just Mr. Burton, but Jennifer Jo Cobb will also be in the Cup race, driving the 15 on Rick Ware Racing, and we're going to talk more about Rick Ware in just a minute. So congratulations for Ms. Cobb. Hopefully she can make it in Talladega in one piece. So, alright, without that news out of the way, let's talk the point standings for the Xfinity Series. Alright, let's talk about the Xfinity Series. In first place right now with 317, Cindric. And in second place with 275, it's Daniel Hemrick. In third place with 242, it is Harrison Burton. In fourth place with 230, Mr. Consistency, Justin Haley. And in fifth place with 221, Jeff Burton. And in sixth place with 218, AJ Allmendinger. In seventh place with 206, Matt Snyder. And in eighth place, Justin Allgaier. And in ninth place is Brandon Jones. And 10th with 187. And in ninth place with 198, I forgot to mention, man, I'm not on my game today. Sorry about that. It is Jeremy Clements. And I should also mention Noah Gragson, who's in 11th with 168, is the first Dash to Cash winner, so he has $100,000. So a very good day for Junior Motorsports. Now let's not waste any time. Let's get to the Cup Series. Hopefully I don't screw up on this one. And here we go for the Blue Emu Relief 500. In 10th place, we have Rowdy Kyle Busch. In 9th place, probably the best Stewart-Haas driver at the moment, Happy Kevin Harvick. And in 8th place, continuing to exceed expectations, Tyler Reddick. In 7th place, we have the Daytona Road Course winner, Christopher Bell. And in 6th place, the kid from Connecticut, Joey Logano. And in 5th place, Kyle Larson. And in 4th place, continuing to have a really good start, the hot shot, William Byron. And in 3rd place, we'll be talking more about him in just a moment, a Champions Points leader, Denny Hamlin. And in 2nd place, another top 2nd place finisher for him on the season, your defending champion, Chase Elliott. And the winner of this race, getting our first repeat winner of the season, took us this long, Martin Truex Jr. Again, took us this long to get a repeat winner. Alright, let's talk this over, and honestly, I'm not surprised he successfully defended to win this race 2 years in a row. And honestly, he's going to be a threat for the championship. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Let's talk about Denny Hamlin for a second. Go back to Denny Hamlin. Well, it seems to me that 2311 Racing is looking to expand to 2 to 3 teams with a possible second team possibly coming next season. Although I was going to be curious to see where the charter for that second team is going to be, because that's going to be the big hurdle going forward. And speaking of which, I should mention Ryan Blaney finished 11th, Matt DiBenedetto finished 12th, Bubba Wallace finished 16th. So out of all the new teams, Bubba did pretty well. In fact, he even led a couple of laps. Although to be fair, he stayed out during the pit stop, so that's why he got it. And while Daniel Suarez got into a major accident where his car caught fire, he finished 32nd. Now, we're going to have to talk about Stewart-Haas again, because honestly, this is beyond ridiculous. How underperforming that team is. Stewart-Haas is. I mean, Harvick finished 9th. That's great. Cole Custer finished 18th. Almirola 20th. Chase Briscoe 27th. And honestly, we know the speed's going to be coming. They're going to be a threat, but this is going to be rather difficult for Haas to survive. And to be honest, we would have been calling Stewart-Haas a shit show, but another team that not many people are talking about is really starting to become a shit show, and that's Rick Rare Racing. Yes, I'm talking about that Rick Rare Racing team. And to be honest, I didn't know much until Cody Ware and James Davison got into a major fight on the radio, getting in here, and point where people on Twitter are telling him to park his son and telling him to give up their charter. And honestly, to be honest, Cody Ware is not the worst race car driver I've ever seen. I mean, he's not a Mojave or Ragunathan or anything. But honestly, Cody is probably better off as a four-wheel drive. He's better off as an IndyCar driver, just like Davison, but NASCAR may not be his thing. And now Davison's probably getting ready for IndyCar. So instead, Cody Ware has to work with Jennifer Jo Cobb. Here's hoping that Jennifer Jo Cobb can be so stuck up to Cody that he changes his ways. Or at least that's the hope. Anyway, let's get to the point standings, because, to be honest, I have to go to sleep. It's past 3 in the morning as I am recording this. Alright, here are your point standings. And in first place with 379, it is Denny Hamlin. In second place with 303, closing that gap, it's the first two-time winner of the season, Martin Truex Jr. In third place by 1 point, Joey Logano, the kid from Connecticut. In fourth place with 280, Kyle Larson. And in fifth place with 272, stop botching, Michael, Ryan Blaney. And thankfully, Truex did not commit Blaney ride infringement by handing a flag to the kid, to a fan. And in sixth place with 270 by 2 points, the hot shot William Byron. And in seventh place with 260, your defending champion Chase Elliott. And in eighth place, beating the devil with 253, the only Stewart-Haas car on here, Kevin Harvick. And ninth place with 244, the Wolverine from Michigan, Brad Keselowski. And in 10th place with 217, it is Christopher Bell. And while we're on this subject, we got a really good bar fight for those final spots. I mean, Kurt Busch is 190. Michael McDowell's in, so why does he matter? Alex Bowman's on the outside looking in with 185. Bubba Wallace in 19th, 157. Ryan Newman is right in between them with 167. Ryan Preece, who's been on a solid run so far, 155. So if it's going to be this close, buckle your seatbelts, folks, because this is going to get exciting, especially when we have yet another short track to go to. And this is probably interesting to see where this goes, because at the time of this recording, it is Saturday, which means the Xfinity race is literally hours away. I'll catch you guys after the checkered flag, and there will be one for Imola coming up next. Thanks for watching.